Did we just witness the beginning of a great love story between two existentially opposed entities?
Or the story of a hive and its beloved pets?
Let's discuss. Okay, so episode 8.
Yes.
Charm Offensive.
Charm Offensive.
That's what the episode was titled. I think that's a perfect title because it perfectly captures obviously what the relationship is going on between Carol and Zosia in this episode, but it is very an ironically perfect title for Manus's part of the story and how he was behaving in the hospital. But I really thought this was at least framed as a love story between two very diametrically opposed individuals. Yeah. I do believe this is based on if the hive is being honest, and I will go back to my Mr. Spock version of honesty,
okay, yes,
where it is by the letter of the law, not necessarily the spirit of the law. Definitely expressed true affection towards Carol, her writing, the excitement about the new white Carol. And Carol, I believe, is being honest when she talks about the positives that this is contributing, but also the existential threat. She's torn. And so we see this love story playing out. The opening scene between them was very much like two exes getting back together after a bad breakup. It's this very awkwardness. What do we talk about? Let's play a game. They spend the night together. It's not physical, like it's not sex, but it is spending
with hundreds of other people.
Yes, well, getting to know their new life of the ex's new.
Oh, okay.
They've changed, they've grown on, so we're getting to know a little bit about them, showing interest in each other and what their experiences are. You get the drive home and the awkward moment in the car the next morning.
Yes.
I don't know exactly what to say. The lights going out at the observatory so she could see better was a straight out of Pretty Woman type kind of moment. Yes. Big demonstrative romantic gesture to her. They have genuine feelings for each other, but they both are trying to stop each other, which then questions, is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love that I've been searching for? Leave a comment below if you remember who sang that song, because I don't. But usually you think of love as accepting the other. How could you accept the other when the other is an existential threat to yourself? We have this very complicated relationship. What do you think?
No.
Okay.
I love this show because it allows people to see it in very different ways. It's a very open program, and this is about Carol being the pet to the hive mind. I mean, think back to when they're in the arena, right? And she's asking them, this is how they sleep, blah, 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 blah. And then a dog comes up.
Oh, right, yes, okay.
So you didn't recall the dog?
Yeah. Oh, I recall the dog, but I didn't really give it much pay
Yeah,
much
see, I thought that was a
attention.
little key.
Yeah.
Because Carol says, is the dog one of you? And Zosia says, no, the dog is not one of us.
Right, we don't have pets.
We don't have pets. However, if an animal feels particularly attached to one of us, and then they say, like that guy over there,
Mike who's waving in the background.
then we allow them to be around. But the dog is standing right next to Carol, and then Carol, sort of gives a little rub to the dog, and they say, oh, and he's a good boy.
Yeah, he's not one of us, but he's a very good boy.
He's a very good boy.
Yeah, right.
And I thought this whole episode was about the hive kind of training Carol to be a very good girl, and she has needs, just like pets. We love our pets. They have needs. They need us to feed them. They need us to water them. They need us to walk them. Carol needs all of those things. If companionship, you can't leave a dog alone all day.
Yeah.
You have to spend time with the dog. You have to care for the dog.
Yep.
You have to throw the ball for the dog, entertain the dog. And that's exactly what they're doing for Carol.
Even though you could beat the dog at any game you played.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. They sort of play.
They literally go out to a field and play with the ball.
Play with a ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is kind of what I thought about this. And again, it's this situation where Carol is thinking that she is kind of having one over on the hive here. and collecting the information, and she's using my favorite whiteboards. I love the whiteboards. And finding out all this information about them. But really,
well, she doesn't think she's pulling one over on him, because that's when she confronts Zosia, that you guys know that I haven't changed, and this is all. I mean, that was my point. This is a love story between two people who are desperately trying to manipulate the other one, and she knows that Zosia is trying to manipulate her.
But there is this still sense that Carol thinks that, when she asks for the new whiteboard markers, that they're saying, "Oh, you're writing again."
Right.
And that's not the reason why she wants the whiteboard markers.
No.
And so there is this kind of sense that it is like a dog who thinks they've hid the ball, but you know exactly where the ball is. And I feel like that's the relationship. So for me, I don't think it could really be this love relationship. I mean, I like the way you described it, and I like that as a way of looking at it, but I think that it kind of puts them at the same level when I feel like the Hive has one over on Carol, but Carol thinks she has one over on them.
Right.
And that's that.
Fair enough. I don't think
imbalance.
that conflicts.
Yes. No.
I'm noticing, I believe the show is very intentionally trying to present this story in the form of a relationship of the two exes getting back together.
And
after
I feel that it's developing a relationship between this kind of codependent relationship, and that's where we kind of go on to the other thing that I think is happening, because I can't stop thinking about is this idea of the importance of the theme of authorship with Carol as an author in this program.
Which I did when I was taking notes for this episode. I literally wrote down, leave the authorship talk to Aaron, because I knew there'd be a lot.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel that with the Hive rebuilding the diner where she initially started writing, was creative and started writing her favorite time of her life. They have a little interaction when Zosia asks very honestly about what it means to write and the creative process, and Carol's response is
one of those, where do you get your ideas from?
Where do you get your and Carol kind of says, well, don't you have access to the minds of all of these authors? Yeah. And it's true, they do, but they only have access to the past. Right. They have no access to the act of creation. Again, this goes back to this idea of AI. AI can't really create anything new. Yeah. That's one of the things that we can protect as humans. Forget the Turing test. It really is about innovation, and the creative process requires that. Hence the Georgia O'Keeffe, and hence the idea of writing, and the fact that the Hive really wants something new.
Yeah, they have nothing to read.
No.
Yeah, I wrote that. Yeah, no surprises for them.
No.
They need Carol to tell stories, because they can't have experiences the way we're having with this story, the way it's unfolding. Well, we don't know what's going to happen. We thought at the end of last episode, she's desperate to get back the Hive because she's so lonely, when that's only just a part of it. It's also, no, her plan has just changed. We didn't see that coming because somebody else is telling us a story here.
No, exactly. And it made me think, one of my favorite writers is Donald Barthelme. There's a collected book of essays called Not Knowing. In the essay, Not Knowing, he writes, "The not knowing is crucial to art, is what permits art to be made. Without the scanning process engendered by not knowing, without the possibility of having the mind move in unanticipated directions, there would be no invention."
Right.
And I feel like that is what essentially the Hive mind lacks.
Right.
Is it lacks the not knowing, and it's Carol that has access to that.
Right.
And in some ways it's like it makes her novel. It makes her novel like a pet, but it also makes her write a novel.
Right.
Not to put too fine a point on it. And
it also shows why they would want to participate in Mr. Diabetes.
Exactly.
Little enactments here, playing James Bond, playing characters and stuff. Because he's writing the story for them. You saw him correcting when the guy started to applaud. He's like, no, keep in character.
Keep in character. This is how this is the way the story, I want the story to function.
But they want to participate in this. They're not just mindlessly acting out his scenarios. They're getting something out of that.
Yes, exactly, because it's the act of creativity
Right.
that can only come from the people who are not joined.
Right.
You know, and I feel like, because again, it's she does start writing,
Yep.
and you know
And what does she write?
she writes something that I suppose we would refer to as a mystery box
Yes.
show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What she does is she writes her genre fiction, and in that, the conversation with Zosia, and I mean, I think it is important, yes, that there is the physical interaction, the sex, that they have, kind of spurs her onwards to engage in some kind of writing, and I feel like it's. I don't know, like it sort of is, it kind of gets her past the writer's block almost.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's been reintroduced. She has an audience again.
Exactly.
That's willing and eager to read what she comes up with. So
yeah, and
it's a compromise.
Exactly.
But she finds her way there.
And then I think she starts to realize that the audience will accept anything that she wants. And so for the first time, instead of having to fit into a particular set of expectations,
Right.
she can make all sorts of changes.
Right.
And when she presents the chapter, which, you know, transforms the pirate man to the pirate lady,
Yes.
you know.
Through the use of the temporal chalice.
Exactly.
Which she was saving for this other character, but then she's now going to make more sense, which is very much my theory. That's how mystery box shows are written. They come up with ideas. What's in the hatch? There should be a hatch on the island on Lost. What's in the hatch? I don't know. We'll figure that out next season or the season after.
Exactly. And we can explain it.
Yeah.
Everything is explainable. Like, I think if we go back to the two whiteboards, she has two possible stories.
Right.
She has the genre fiction story, which can kind of close the possibilities because she has the power to do so.
Right.
She has the power to be able to tell that story. It can have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Everything can be explained, whether it's by the temporal chalice or not, it can be explained.
Right.
And then the other story, which doesn't have an ending, which is so open, which is impossible for her to complete.
Right.
But these are two writing projects, one on each board, and they both are in flux.
Okay.
You know, but one of them she has control over, and the other one she doesn't.
Right. Okay. I want to talk about the Belladonna, which is the Georgia O'Keeffe.
Yes.
But I think maybe we should save this for the next episode, so we're algorithmically not penalized here. So that kind of explains it for this week, or for this episode. Quick channel note, if you're watching this on Not Another Gen X Guy, we just wanted to let you know that we have an official channel called Aaron Explains Stuff.
This one.
Well, some of you will be on it, some of you won't. That's where we're having these conversations, including a comments episode and a year-end wrap-up coming up. So links in the description. Thanks for watching.